Sing the battle cry of freedom.
I think one of the things that is most upsetting is that most Americans, and I've watched some of the polling that's been out on this particular portion of my topic here, and that is how horrible Israel is towards those that are in Gaza. Here's what most don't even realize. Gazans vote for who they want to be over them. I spoke very recently about something that Socrates said, and that was, what you tolerate is what you deserve. That may sound harsh, but here comes from a Western mind going back into an era of time where most of us, whoever matriculated to whatever colleges we've gone through, we learned the writings of Aristotle, we learned the writings of Socrates, and I thought that was pretty apropos. What we tolerate is what we deserve. You tolerate someone treating you a certain kind of way, why then don't you deserve what you tolerate? Where's your fierceness and your tenacity to say, hey, look, I'm not going to tolerate you abusing me. When Gaza or the Gazans had an opportunity to vote, they didn't vote for a Likud type of party. They didn't vote for a constitutional republic like we have here in the United States. They didn't vote for a parliamentary type style of leadership as we see throughout Europe. They voted for Hamas leaders, by the way, that do not live there. I want everyone in my audience to understand the leaders of Hamas, the leaders of the Gazan people, don't live in Gaza. They live in Qatar and other Arab parts of the region, and they are billionaires. I just did a show on this recently. They're billionaires, and I'm not going to replay what I said the other week, but I can quote them. They said, we're willing to sacrifice our moms and daughters and sons in the Gaza area for a bigger cause. By the way, they themselves don't live there. They have taken billions of dollars, billions with a B, and they live very wonderful lifestyles, while the people in Gaza, they live horribly. But yet the people in Gaza, they don't revolt. Why? Because it's not about Israel. It's about destroying Israel. That's a fact. I called a friend of mine, CPA, prior to the show, and I wanted to make sure that my numbers were correct. Again, don't take my word for it. I'm just shining the light on it. Go out and you can see it. When you look at the amount of cash that the U.S. and those through the UN, various countries, have poured over into the Gaza area, it literally comes over 1.2 to 1.4, you ready for this, trillion of dollars since Ariel Sharon, through the Bush, through the Obama's political regime, established that area, forcing Israel to be complicit, to give up their land being Israel's land, to a group of Syrians, Jordanians, by the way, who don't want them. Egypt doesn't want the Palestinian people. They've come out and said it. The Jordanians, which the majority of the people that are in Gaza are, they don't want the Palestinians coming over into Jordan. And you would say, well, that's because there's 50 million of them. No, it's not. There's roughly over close to 600,000 individuals that live in the Gaza area. I want you to do the math. If you raised over $1 trillion, if you gave everyone in Gaza, this is literal, including the babies, by the way, who wouldn't know how to spend the money. But if you gave everyone in Gaza the money that has been raised for that region, not the money that the leaders of Hamas have siphoned off and they don't even live there. But if you gave everyone in Gaza the money that has been raised for the Gaza area, do you know every person who lives in that area would receive over $1.6 million per person? I want that to sink in. Close to $2 million. Every Gaza citizen, if the money that has been raised through the years, I hope Obama's people are paying attention. I know you're just shaking in your boots that the numbers are being exposed. Every single one of them, every single person living in Gaza, the monies that have been raised since Ariel Sharon was forced into this complicit behavior by the United States and the UN. If you gave everyone in Gaza that kind of money, they would have close to $2 million. But what did they do with the money? What did the leaders of Hamas, the Gaza region, what did they do with all that money? We talk about how poor, according to Barack Obama and the ilks like him. And again, I don't apologize for what I'm saying. Barack Obama was a feckless, inept leader. The only thing he brought to the game was game. That's it. He brought game to the game. He hoodwinked America. He hoodwinked the majority of black Americans. He hoodwinked the majority of white liberal America, because America thought if we just put him in office, we could shed ourselves of racism. Right. It's not about racism, people. This is about a divided country by guys like Barack, by guys like Hakeem Jeffries, by people like Barbara Walters, by people like Nancy Pelosi. It's a divide and conquer game. What did they do with the money that was sent? Let's look at a clip and I'll give you comment. Taken billions and hundreds of billions of dollars to build 300 plus miles of a labyrinth scheme, almost like a river. If you can imagine in your mind a river, these tunnels have been built throughout that region. It has taken hundreds of billions of dollars. This is real footage from the IDF. This is Israel's defense department, and they're showing you the tunnels that their soldiers are having to deal with. These are tunnels that are built under mosques. These are tunnels that have been built under schools, and tunnels that have been built under hospitals. Again, this is the reality in which we're living in. This is why we got to do something about it. When I come back, I'm going to take it up just a little more. We'll be right back.
We will rally